Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Untitled Chapter. I'm AJ Gels. Guys, we are back with the weekly show. This goes live every Saturday, noon Eastern, at 9 a.m. Pacific. Really not a lot of news to talk about this week, guys. Really, I pulled 3 stories that I found interesting this week, all from IGN. There was some other stuff that went on. BioWare throwing in the patch to Mass Effect Andromeda to fix some of the animation issues. There was some dialogue stuff that was causing some problems in other places that I'm not going to go into because that would be too political. And again, if you watch my channel long enough, you know I don't like to delve into that stuff. I don't want to get into the social ramifications because I think games are games. It's entertainment. Let's not dive into that representation and all that bullcrap because that's going to open up a can of worms I don't want to open up, at least on this channel. So, we're not going to be talking about that. I'm not going to be talking about the Project Scorpio specs that ended up getting released. That's all just because I do not know enough about the tech to comment on it. I will put a link into the description from another IGN article that goes over the release specs, but like I said, I'm not... I don't know. I'm not good enough with when it comes to specs and whatnot to again I for some reason I can't speak. I'm not solid enough on like the hard tech to be able to give cohesive commentary on that. I feel like there's some other stuff to talk about, but I will move on and save that for the end. Right now, let's start with our first article of the day. Agents of Mayhem release date has been announced. Article by Hope Corrigan. Agents of Mayhem being a game by Deep Silver. This is right there. If you can see right here, the studio that brought us Saints Row. So you already have my attention. Let's see here. The article reads, Hope Corrigan, if I haven't said that. Article reads, Deep Silver has announced release dates for its new single-player, third-person action game, Agents of Mayhem, developed by the studio that brought us Saints Row. Agents of Mayhem was announced at E3 last year, and will release August 15th and 18th in the United States. And Europe, respectively. The over-the-top sandbox game mixes elements of Overwatch, Saints Row, and Crackdown, and features a lineup of characters, each with a unique skill set. They're working together to take down a supervillain organization known as Legion. Last year, we put your questions and developers and learned, among other things, that players will also be able to utilize souped-up vehicles to traverse and explore an open-world futuristic take on Soul? I don't know. Agents of Mayhem will be available PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, all that. Why not? We're gonna get an advertisement.
I chose you for...
Screw that. Yeah. Oh, is that an advertisement for the new Fast and... I'm sorry. I like the original Fast and the Furious movie when it was about street racing, and then I got into like crime, and it got boring. I don't know why I can't speak. I'm excited for Agents of Mayhem. I love Saints Row. I really like how that series, like I went back, I haven't actually gotten a chance to play the original Saints Row. Well, I mean, that one was still kind of goofy and over the top when you compare it to like a Grand Theft Auto. Saints Row, I think, just kept getting more and more ridiculous as the franchise went on. So it's not surprising to see them do something like really goofy. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. When did it, one more time, when did it say its release date was? In, oh, sweet, August. That's something else to play this August along with Shadow of War. But I don't know a whole heck of a lot on Agents of Mayhem. I'm going to guess it's going to be really Saints Row, really like, Saints Row and Crackdown, especially when you get into Saints Row 4, played a lot like Crackdown. With Saints Row 4 when you had all the superpowers and you were inside the Matrix. Although I'm curious how they're going to mix in elements of Overwatch. That'll be interesting. Moving on. State of Decay 2 will have 3 maps, each the size of the first game. Also by Hope Corrigan. I loved the original State of Decay. I really want to dive back into that game. It's just I get lost in that game for hours. It's so much fun. Let's see here. Undead Labs has revealed that the survival horror sequel stated Decay 2 will launch with 3 maps, each around the same size as the map from the original game. In a blog post, community director Sonia Weathers explained that each map will feature different landmarks, layouts, and environments. These will play into varying strategies and mission types that complement the area. And I quote, "It really feels like you're moving from one small town to another," end quote. Withers says, and I quote, and creates a tremendous sense of immersion, and perhaps counterintuitively, it makes the world feel even bigger. And God damn it. You know how on one map, even 1/3 times the size of the original game, of the original games, I don't know why I can't speak. The longer you play, the more you start feeling deja vu with every mission. The less of an issue, that's less of an issue with separate maps. Okay, I might have read that really in an odd way, so I'm going to break it down on how what I think she's saying by this, even if you feel like, take like, I got this feeling when I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. There's not much diversity in the layout of the of the map. I mean, the map is pretty big, but in all honesty, it's all hills and forest. I mean, sometimes it's a little more swampy, sometimes it's a little more this or that, but for the most part, it's hills and forest, or jungle, whatever the more proper term is. But still, it all kind of felt the same. So I think what they're saying with this one, they'd rather have like 3. I'm not gonna say small, because really the map in State of Decay wasn't small. But I think they'd rather have those 3 and have each 3 of those maps be something different than have one massive map where it's all kind of the same thing. So I think that's a good idea for a game like State of Decay. This news plays into our interview with Undead Labs CEO Jeff Strain, where he stated that, and I quote, "For now, suffice it to say that the playable area is substantially larger than State of Decay," end quote, when asked about the scope of the sequel. The reason behind this design is to promote the feeling of moving between small towns and increasing sense of immersion. They also hope to limit repetition with the model and to make the potential for expansion an easier endeavor. State of Decay is yet to receive a firm release date, but it's slated to release on Xbox One and Windows 10 as an Xbox Play Anywhere title at some point in 2017. Yeah, again, another game. I'm going to give you my typical super excited about the game. Can't wait to see it. Like I said, loved the original State of Decay. Not really a lot else I can say about this. This was just the map. I do remember reading another article that was talking about this, and that more like maps of a similar size will be coming in DLC. But again, I don't have a super confirmation. I don't have like that confirmed. All I've heard is may be coming as DLC. So, but very excited for this game. Can't wait to see it. Definitely gonna play it on the channel. And I feel super lazy this week. I've been so caught up in Persona 5. So maybe I might have missed some news. But this isn't necessarily some massive news, but this is something that really interested me, as the title of the article. It's weird. Sounds like somebody just wrecked us on my building. Assassin's Creed 3, Far Cry 4 creative director Alex Hutchinson is leaving Ubisoft. Also by Hope Corrigan. God, all 3 of these articles, same freaking person. In a series of tweets, game director Alex Hutchinson has announced that he is leaving Ubisoft to found a new company called Typhoon Studios. And I quote, "So I left Ubisoft after 7 years, extremely proud of all we achieved on Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, and Assassins, but very excited to build something new," end quote, Hutchinson wrote. His tweets also relay that although his new company, which he is founding with developer Reed Schneider? Reed? I don't know. Won't have much to announce for now. They are working on, and I quote, "a brand new world to inflict on all of you, so stay tuned." What the hell does that mean? The Typhoon Studio website is currently quite bare, only stating that the studio is looking to hire, and I quote, "outstanding talent who want to make waves in the industry, and people who are not afraid to be bold." End quote. Australian-born Hutchinson worked on both Assassin's Creed 3 and Far Cry 4 during his 7-year tenure with Ubisoft, and previously acted as lead designer on The Sims 2 and Spore with EA. Now, why I wanted to talk about this, because this gives me a chance to talk about Assassin's Creed 3. Far Cry 4 was a good game. Everybody can say it. Yes, Far Cry 4 was good. Assassin's Creed now. People, I've gotten so much shit from people for saying this. I stand by it. Assassin's Creed 3 was not as bad as everybody says it was. Do not get me wrong, it is not the best one. I would say it's at the low middle or the best bad one. Or it's in that area, if you know what I mean. It's below average, but it's not a bad game. Because I think all of the problems with AC3 had to do with its narrative. It didn't, how to put it, because I still remember, you're playing as young Connor, you meet Achilles, and then, we get the kind of the montage, and then he's kind of grown up into an older teenager. Yet we never yet he just knows that, not Edward, Haytham, there we go, that Haytham is his father, yet we never really got to see that scene of that being explained to him. It's just, there was some really weird stuff with how Assassin's Creed 3's story progressed. I never liked the fact that we really didn't dive into the historical figures in that game, that we didn't, get to meet, your Jefferson. Granted, Franklin was in France at the time, but we didn't get to meet Washington, Lafayette. We didn't get to meet, like all these cool, people of American history, which especially for a guy like me, I love the American Revolution. Like, I love war history from that time. And we didn't get to meet these people, so it was kind of weird not seeing them a lot in the game. But I think where AC3 really made up ground on that against its subpar narrative was in its gameplay. I thought the way they changed combat was perfect. They made it less about sitting and waiting, to counter, and they made it more aggressive. They made free running more fun, which I know a lot of people complained that there was the lack of verticality in that game, which they are correct. There was less verticality in Assassin's Creed 3, yet I've said this before. I think that Assassin's Creed 3 made it more about traversing rather than climbing. It was more about getting from point A to point B faster, so running through the trees and monkey barring and all that, as opposed to climbing up and down really fast. The how they set up the naval gameplay in 3, I thought was really good. Just generally, I thought gameplay wise, AC3 was spot on. And I really think that it also laid the groundwork for AC4, because I think AC4 took a lot of the gameplay, like I said, like the traversal and the naval combat and everything, and made it bigger, better, and made the great game that was Assassin's Creed 4. And I'll say this, and I think this is that was a similar problem that Assassin's Creed Unity had, except Unity, I think, told a good story, because, the whole Romeo and Juliet thing between Arnaud and Elise was really good. That game, from a gameplay perspective, sucked eggs. And then Syndicate comes out, and I think story-wise, maybe not great. I mean, it was still a good story. And I think in my review, you go over to my website, check out my review of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I gave that game an 8. Now thinking, should have given it a high 7. Not an 8. But I think that it was the similar kind of thing. I think where they moved the good story over into Syndicate, but then they improved the gameplay, because I think what Unity tried to do gameplay-wise worked, but I think it took till Syndicate to do it, if what I'm saying makes any sense. So I'm just ranting about Assassin's Creed, because, again, you know me, I love Assassin's Creed. I absolutely love Assassin's Creed. So I just had to sit here, and I needed a tertiary way to defend Assassin's Creed 3 to people. But there's all the news I have for you guys this week. If I missed anything, please tell me. Like I said, I've been so wrapped up in Persona. I actually feel bad. I've only put in about 20 some hours in that game, and it doesn't feel like I've put in enough since it came out on Tuesday. But I mean, I've been playing the thing almost non-stop. I've been playing it at my console. Thank God for PlayStation Vita's remote play. When with PlayStation Vita's Remote Play. Any PlayStation 4 game can become a PS Vita game. Yes, that is my plug for the PlayStation Vita. If you can find one, get one. Fantastic console. No, I am not being sponsored. I mean, I love to use the Remote Play. I play in the tub all the time. Yes, I like to take baths. It's very relaxing. It's good on my knees. I totally forgot what I was talking about. I'm just saying random shit. I'm sorry. I'm doing this early in the morning so I can go back and play more Persona until later in the day. Then I'll get back into other games. So I guess I'll just say Persona 5, fantastic game. Loving it. I wish I could have put up footage on the channel. Go check. I put up like a 2-hour long video on the channel until I had to delete it. And if you want to know why I deleted it, go check out a video. I think I called it Why No Persona 5 Footage. That video, there's some things with Atlas. There's a lot of restrictions on recording that game that I just didn't think it was worth recording and, bringing up on the channel. So there's all that. Yes, I know a lot of my recording has kind of dipped down over the past while, and again, that's because I've been playing so much Persona 5. But I am playing. But today I'm getting back into the active series, Andromeda, Fallout, Technomancer. Trying to think. Next week, for the Throwback Day, we're playing. I'm planning on playing the Bulletstorm remaster and Yakuza 0, starting up the Friday after that Thursday. So there's kind of a look at the channel, and like I said, why I kind of slowed down the past couple days. I will be, resuming that. I just really wanted to dig into Persona 5 for a little bit, and if you have a PlayStation 4 and love RPGs, get Persona 5. Phenomenal game. So I'll stop ranting at you guys. Just want to say thank you for watching. Like I said earlier, in the description there will be a link to that Xbox Scorpio article, so you can read and learn about the specs if you would like. Sorry if I've been a little disjointed. I don't know why. Like I said, I'm doing this early in the morning, just so I have enough time to get this uploaded. Thank you for watching, everybody. Facebook, Twitter, the website's in the description. Like, comment if you're not already. Please subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. And until next week, on the next video you see, thank you for watching, everybody. I'm AJ Gels. This is the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm out.